أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. Imam al-Rida alayhi salam said, "He for whom the day of Ashura is a day of grief, sorrow and crying, Allah mighty and exalted will make the day of resurrection a day of joy and happiness for him." As you know, the day of judgment in Quran, it said in one verse, it is 50,000 years of which you account, or in another verse, it is 1,000 years from your account. قال الإمام الرضا عليه السلام: من كان يوم عاشوراء يوم مصيبته وحزنه وبكائه يجعل الله عز وجل يوم القيامة يوم فرحه وسروره. With Islamic laws, we reach to issue number 824. If a person knows that it is haram to wear a usurped dress, he knows the rule that if he wears a usurped dress, it is what? It is haram. Not only that, but also his salah is what? His salah is void. But does not know that it makes a prayer void. He knows it is haram to use what? To use or to wear a usurped dress. But he doesn't know that will make his salah is what? Is void. And if he intentionally offers a prayer with a usurped dress, with his acknowledgement that it is haram to wear a usurped dress, but he doesn't know that if he wears a usurped dress in his salah will turn his salah into what? Into a void salah. He doesn't know that, but he knows it is haram. As a precaution, his prayer will be void. As a precaution, this is an obligatory precaution for Sayyid al-Sistani, and you know it is a precaution that means either to repeat his salah with another dress or to follow another mujtahid whom he said that his salah is what? Is valid. As explained in the foregoing article, issue number 825. If a person does not know that his dress is usurped, he doesn't know that his dress is what? Is usurped, or forgets about being usurped. Before he knows it is usurped, but now when he is wearing it in his salah, he forgot about what? He forgot about his salah, his dress is what? Is usurped, and offers prayer with it, with this usurped dress. His prayer is in order. His prayer is in order. Is that generally? Definitely no, not generally. There is a condition, provided that he himself is not the usurper. He himself is not what? Is not a usurper. Even if he is a usurper, whether he knows and intentionally pray with a usurped dress, or he doesn't know this is a usurped dress, or he forgets this is a usurped dress, in both cases, since he is a usurper, his salah what? his salah is void. Provided that he himself is not a usurper. If he himself is the usurper, his salah as a precaution will be void. Definitely you are as a preachers, you are as khutaba, you must have information and you must have knowledgement about what? About Islamic laws. Because people are going to ask you. Not only that, at the beginning of your lecture, you should give what? You should give an issue which is of the daily problem to the people. This is very important. This is very important. This is your goal. It is not only my goal to advise them and to give them some stories to take a benefit from it. It's okay, good. But in spite of that, you have to tell them some of the Islamic laws, some of the issues. Issue number 826. If a person does not know or forgets that his dress is a usurped one, either he doesn't know or he knows before, he knew before, and now he forgets and realizes it during prayer. While he is praying, while he is in the process of prayer, he realizes that he is wearing what? He is wearing this dishdasha, which it is what? It is a usurped dishdasha. He should take off that dress while he is praying. Yes, while he is praying. Provided that his private parts are covered by another thing. That means when he took off this dress, which is a usurped dress, there must be what? There must be something which covered his private part, because it is not allowed for him to pray as naked. And he can take off the usurped dress immediately without the continuity of the prayer being broken. That means his prayer is what? Is still continue, not breaking out his prayer. And if his private parts are not covered by something else, that means the only thing which he covered his private part is this what? Is this usurped dress. Now, what is the rule? What is the hukum? Or he cannot take off the usurped dress immediately, or the other thing, he cannot take the usurped dress immediately, or the continuity of the prayer is not maintained if he takes it off. That means if he take the dress off, that means he will going to, for example, to turn away from Qibla, or to add an extra act which is invalidate the salah. You understand what it does not maintain the salah, the validity of salah? Okay? So here we have three things. And if his private parts are not covered by something else except with this usurped thing or dress, the second thing, he cannot take off the usurped dress immediately. He cannot take it immediately. For example, why? Because there are foreigners in front of him and he is not wearing something else. Or the continuity of the prayer is not maintained if he takes it off. Okay? And if he has time for at least one rak'ah, he should break the prayer and offer a prayer with a dress which has not usurped. This is for the one or the musalli who has a time in his disposal. He has a time. But if he does not have so much time, if he does not have so much time, he should take off the dress while praying. If he doesn't so much time, that means If he break his salah will be what? Qada. So he does not have much time. So in this case, he should take off the dress while praying. That means to continue his prayers while he is what? While he is taking off his dress, and complete the prayer according to the rules applicable to the prayer by the naked. What does that mean? If you remember that the naked person, yes, Sheikh Ahmed. I think you have the mic.
That means to cover his private part by his hand. Is that possible? Or by any other things?
Like a grass.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Issue number 827. If a person offers a prayer with a usurped dress, this person, he does what? He offers his prayer with a usurped dress to safeguard his life, or, for example, to save the dress from being stolen by a thief. His prayer is in order. This person, if he take off this usurped dress, maybe he will get sick, and he will get sick. Or if he take off this usurped dress, maybe this dress which he has on his body, it is what protect him from what? From the sniper or an arrow of the enemies. If he takes it off, he will die. So now, what's the rule? He should go ahead and continue his prayer with this usurped dress. Or sometimes, no. This dress, he found it for somebody. It does not belong to him. It is belong to somebody. And he wanted other people to look at this dress. Maybe the owner of the dress will come and say, hey, this is my dress. This is a goal. This is a goal. So it could be prayed with this usurped. Yes, he can pray with this usurped dress. Or sometimes that if he left this the dress without wearing it, somebody is going to steal it. So in these cases, it is allowed for him to pray, to perform his prayers with this usurped dress. These are very important. These cases, for example, the question may be like this: are there some cases we can perform our salah with a usurped dress? You should say yes. And the cases just like blah, 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 and so on. And you mentioned these cases. Issue number 828. If a person purchases a dress with a particular sum of money, this issue is very important issue. And most of the people, they fell in this mistake without taking care. And their salah, it will be not accepted. If a person purchases a dress with a particular sum of money, okay, what's wrong with this sum of the money? Whose khums has not been paid by him. So this sum of the money, I'm not taking the khums from them. If you remember the hadith of Imam Sadiq, he said, a person, he came on Doomsday and they written on him, on his forehead, Sariq Mali Ali Muhammad. He theft the money of Ali Muhammad. What does that mean? that means this person didn't pay khums. Didn't pay khums. Okay, now we came to the salah. This person, he performs his salah with what? With a dress. This dress, he bought it with some of the money, and this sum of the money, he didn't pay khums for it. So what's wrong? Let's see what's wrong. Then salah in that dress will amount to the salah in a dress which has been usurped. So what's wrong with the salah that being performed with a usurped dress? It is void. It is void. So my brothers, pay attention. It is very important point. If somebody say, okay, I didn't have money to pay for khums. Okay, at least you mention the day of khums. You have that time or not. It's very important. So this issue, it must be learned by whole people. It must be learned by whole people. It is not an easy issue or something we can neglect. It is very important. Most of the people, they don't know how or why their salah in doomsday is what is not accepted. They don't know. Okay, issue number 829, the dress of the person, including those which alone, the dress, the parts of the dress, would not cover the private parts, just like the handkerchief, just like my turban, for example, as an obligatory precaution, should not be made of the parts of the deceased of an animal whose blood gushes when killed. Again, the dress of a person. Which dress? Including, that means all the dress, and including to the dress, or in addition to this dress, these parts of dress, those which alone would not cover the private parts, just like the belt, the socks. Okay? شو يسمونها هاي اللي تحطوها على الراس؟ ها؟ العرقتين. Head cap? Okay. So, all these things shouldn't be made of what? It shouldn't be made of the parts of the deceased of an animal. Why Sayyid Stalin said the deceased? Because it is not slaughtered on the prescribed way of Sharia. Meat. Okay? Which is haram to consume. Alright, deceased of an animal whose blood gushes when killed. And the recommended precaution is that even if the dress is made of the parts of the deceased of an animal whose blood does not gush, for example, fish or snake, it should not be used while offering prayer. For that, my brothers, you see some people, while they are performing their salah, they take off what? Their belts or their caps, head caps, no? Huh? Head cap. They take it out of their body and put it aside, because either they are made of the skin of the animal which is not slaughtered according to the prescribed way in Sharia, or they don't know from where they made it. So they take it off. Yes, Sheikhana. You have the mic? Please.
Even if we are not sure that the belt is full of the leather of the animal.
No. Sheikhana, we are talking about things that you are sure of them. For example, I'm not sure that this belt is made of a leather of the deceased animal, so at least I have to work according to precaution to take it out. That's yes.
Say it mentioned as an obligatory precaution, then a recommended precaution, and the third one as a precaution. What's the difference?
Obligatory precaution, it means either to obey and act according to the verdict of Sayyid Sistani, or to leave it and to act according to the verdict of another mujtahid which is less a'lamiyya or less knowledgeable than Sayyid Sistani and more knowledgeable of the rest of the mujtahideen. This is obligatory precaution. Okay. And as a recommended precaution, it's up to you if you want to act according to it or to leave it. If you act according to it, you will take charity. You will have hasana. Or if you leave it, you are not going to take charity. And what is the rest one? A precaution. This is, as we said, أخوك دينك فاحتط لدينك. Your religion is your brother, and you should act in a precaution. You should act in a precaution. Okay? You are welcome. Issue number 830. If a person or if the person who offers a prayer carries with him parts from a mutanajjis carcass, which are counted as living parts, just like some meat, for example, like its flesh and the skin, the prayer will be in order. Why the prayer is in order? Because, yes, Sheikh Faiz, you have the mic, please.
There's a difference between wearing the thing and holding the thing.
Great. And he is what? He is
He's
carrying.
not wearing, yeah.
He is not wearing.
Yeah.
The vertical comes with wearing. The vertical comes with wearing, and he is not wearing. Issue number 831. If a person who offers prayer has with him parts from a carcass, he has with him parts of what? Of carcass. He is not wearing, he just have these things with him. Whose meat is halal, and which is not counted as a living part. Example, its hair and wool. Or if he offers a prayer with a dress which has been made from such things, that means his dress is made of wool, for example, his prayer is in order. His prayer is in order. That means his prayer is what? Is valid. His prayer is valid. You have a question? Okay. Issue number 832. The dress of one who is praying, apart from the small clothes like socks, which would not ordinarily serve to cover the private parts. Definitely, when we wear socks, we are not covering our private parts. even if we try to use them we cannot cover our private parts with what? With socks, because their use it is what? To cover our feet, that's all. Should not be made of any part of the body of a wild animal, or a wild animal. Shouldn't be made of a wild animal, nor as an obligatory precaution of any animal whose meat is haram. Also, we cannot make it of, or we cannot make it of parts of the animal which his meat is haram, just like a crocodile, and whose blood goes out forcibly when its large vein jugular is cut. Like what? Not dog. Like a lion. Like a lion, because the meat of lion is what? Is haram. And when we slaughter it, its blood is it gushes forcefully. Similarly, the same hukum. What is the hukum that should not be made of any part? His dress should not be soiled with the urine, excretion, sweat, milk, or hair of such animals. Also, his body or his dress shouldn't be stained with their moisture. However, if there is one isolated hair on the dress, or if he carries with him, say, a box in which any such things have been kept, there is no harm. If he carries such parts with him in his bucket or in a sack while he is performing his salah, there is no problem. There is no problem. Yes, Sheikh Ahmed. The mic, please. Use the mic. Thank you.
If you don't mind, just repeat the hukum of the socks. So if a person doesn't know where do they made, from which animals they made, in this case, is it obligatory to take off the socks and perform his salah?
Sheikh Ahmed, look,
Yes.
the dress of one who is praying, apart from the small clothes like socks, which would not ordinarily serve to cover the private parts, should not be, this is a knowledge, this is not a doubt, should not be made of any part of the body of a wild animal. This is not a doubt. I know these socks are made of what? For example, of the skin of a lion. I shouldn't wear them in my salah.
So only if I knew.
Yes.
But in our ordinary life, we buy the socks without the knowledge.
But Sheikh Ahmed, it is very clear these socks are made of nylon or wool, or it comes from Turkey as a Muslim country, an Islamic country, or it comes from Canada, it is not an Islamic country, or from USA or from France. We know that. Okay? You are welcome. Okay, however, if there is one isolated hair on the dress, or if he carries with him, say, a box in which any such things have been kept, there is no harm. Last issue. Yes, you have a question. Yes, Sheikh Karan. Yes.
The question is about the parts of the animals, for example, cats or dogs, or maybe the tooth of the wolf. Someone wears protection as a protection from the black deeds magic, for example, sihr.
Mhm.
Okay, what about them? Take it off?
Yes, they have to take it off.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But about the dog, is there there حكم for it because the part of the dog is already متنجس? Or
A part of the dog?
yeah, عين نجاسة, sorry.
A dog, it is an essential najasa. All
Essential
of it.
najasa.
Yes.
Even if I carry it,
Yet, but if you carry it in a box or in a sack in your bucket, it doesn't matter.
that means the condition is not to contact or touch my clothes
No,
unless I put it
no,
in,
no,
in
Sheikh,
a box.
the thing is not to wear it, not to carry it. And for example, this part of a dog or feces or blood, you are carrying it in your bucket, in a sack in your bucket, or in a box in your bucket, just like this box, in my bucket.
Or a small bag.
Like this?
Yeah.
Bucket, in my bucket. So I have, for example, a flesh of a dog in this box, and it is in my bucket. Now, it affects my prayer? No.
What if you know after Salah, or for example in the middle of the Salah, that this bag or this box has been it has hole, okay, and the hair, for example, has
Made your body or dress is mutanajis, and you do not know about that. If you have time as a precaution, go over it and repeat your salah. If you do not have time, your prayer is okay. You are welcome. والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. صل على محمد.